Hi everybody. I think you'll agree with me that we've had tremendous success with our School of Worship initiative. Over the years, people have come to us and said how they've been really encouraged, refreshed, educated in the whole subject of worship and where that goes for their worship teams or for their church ministries. Now, during the lectures on some of those sessions, a lecturer said something like, look, here's a point that I'm making regarding the information I'm sharing today, but it really requires a lecture all by itself. We could go into far more detail on just this point. And there have been a number of students thinking, I wish we could have gone a little deeper. Wish we could have taken that dive into the further material. Well, we're running a series of studies called Intensive at the School of Worship, just for that reason, so that we can go under the hood a little bit more on these subject matters and unpack it in even more detail over a short course initiative. And so I'm really encouraging you to be a part of what we're doing as our first initiative here, called Above It All. Above It All is going to be a study on the book of Hebrews. I did a study in the book of Hebrews a number of years ago, and I just thought it would be great to take it at a different level, especially inside our School of Worship, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to be looking at what the context of that book was all about in terms of the pressure and persecution on Christians, the difficulty to maintain their faith, the fact that some were forsaking assembling together and stopped gathering as church and were frightened to be publicly associated with the name of Jesus. Some had reneged and gone back to their previous religious convictions, some out of Christianity back to Judaism, etc., etc. Others just drifted away from the faith and found the pressure of persecution and the antagonism that their faith was drawing was just too much to bear. And so you've got Christians who are unstable, Christians who didn't know what they believed, Christians who weren't clear on the supremacy of Christ, Christians who thought it was okay to let their faith slip, and some who intentionally denied their faith, reneged on that and said, we don't want anything more to do with this, we're walking away. And the writers of the book of Hebrews, well, we don't know who that writer is, but we know clearly what they said. And they warned the church and gave almost a siren that went up and said, hey, don't slip back, don't back off, don't backslide, don't back away, and don't back down. And so I want to be able to unpack the details of all of that for a generation that is still facing some of those challenges in our day, and try and find out what first century wisdom can give to us in the 21st century. I think it's going to be an exciting study, and I would love for you to join us. So look out for the details as they're coming across the screen. Call into our offices, find out how you can be a part of the short course, the School of Worship initiative called Above It All. That's what Jesus is. He's the one who's supreme above everything. And this study is going to help you see that clearly and change your worship forever.